Right, where do I start explaining this shit? So, about 6 months ago, back when chapter 15 released on Cien, an exploit was found with the pseudo-Sarkas casters. They fire off a skill that walks your DP generation for 30 seconds, so it costs you 30 DP. But because there's an animation connected to it, the skill they fire actually has to touch the DP bar in order to be able to steal your DP. But you can move the DP bar around because it's tied to the camera. Using this back and forth, you can have 30 extra DP per caster that shows up if you want to spend 2 minutes clicking back and forth like this. I made a video discussing this bug about 6 months ago, but I've never actually used it in a run. And when I got to playing H15-2, I saw an opportunity to finally make use of it. What's the point of knowing a bug if you don't actually get to use it after all? Now, I did do it, but now I have a problem that needs solving. How do I make this garbage into a watchable video? And I asked what the best approach would be. I could just use a Vanguard to simulate all the DP I save from doing this, so that the run becomes actually watchable, or I could upload unwatchable garbage. By popular request from my poll, unwatchable garbage it is. But I'll try to explain what's going on. Wow, you all get vertigo from the screen spinning around. The previous record was at 8 operators. They had to use Myrtle for DP generation, much like I do. They also brought Vigna, PureStream, Roberta. Roberta was used for the devices to block range tiles, and then they had shit like Ethan to control everything, grouping around the blue box and using AoE. I went for a slightly different strategy. First, we're using Myrtle S2 as our only source of healing. Originally, I thought I could get away with even less operators by just keeping the casters distracted forever. But the skill eventually times out, even if it never reaches the DP bar, so I actually had to kill the casters. In effect, this skill is a 30-second stun for them, so we require very little healing. I originally used Roberta as well to block the tiles more efficiently, but it didn't work out for me. I didn't have enough DPS for the final waves. So I switched Roberta for Arena and brought another caster. It costs a ton of DP, but we can save about 100 DP if we just bully the casters enough, and then use the casters to block the shadows one by one. Oh, by the way, because I've been asked so many times what happens if you try to do this in A2, I finally recorded it for meme purposes. The answer is it fails, obviously, because the casters can't chase the DP bar around. But I noticed something extremely weird when I recorded it. In the normal run where I'm doing this, the second Frost Nova ghost that the hand places is blocked by Pudding. So when the hand tries to place the ghost, it doesn't work, obviously. But because I had less DP in the A2 deploy, I could not deploy Pudding there. But even though Pudding wasn't on the tile, the hand in the A2 deploy still failed to deploy the ghost all the same. Very weird how that works. I'm kind of curious what will happen if I try to take control of an A2 deploy where something has been deployed there and then just not deploy anything. Actually, let's do that right now. As for the rest of the run, Areen and Pudding can handle all of the cards with a bit of healing from Myrtle. And then we have the 3 single target casters, Haze, Click and Indigo to shoot all the golems. After Pudding is retreated, we activate the device. This is necessary for later, because when you activate the device, it takes the effect is longer. PRTS activated for 20 seconds, you activate it for 30 seconds. You can use this to mess around with the timing. We're not getting anything out of this activation, but in about 2 cycles, I'll need the device activated later, so it better aligns with the golem spam. The final ghost on the top side is blocked by Click. The order was Indigo, Pudding, Click, because that's the order I want to set up the operators in later. On the bottom side there's 4 ghosts, but the first one is far enough away that I don't need to block it. If you retreat the operator immediately after they block a ghost, they will be able to block another one after 3 ghosts go away. So if we deploy everyone in order, we can block the 5th, 6th and 7th ghosts that are actually close enough to hit my operators, while ignoring the 4th. Now, haze was used to kill the first golem after she helped Irene with the vending machines. She actually doesn't have the damage to do it on her own. I used to try and point Irene up to help her, but then he just died to the cars. So I was forced to point Irene down and figure out something else. Oh, the other operators that block the ghost can be used for a few hits, and thanks to the delayed device, Click will be able to just barely finish the golem off in time. But this isn't a good position for Haze. We need her to debuff the res when the golems are in range of other casters, and we also want the res debuffing field. So Haze gets retreated, and at this point we're almost done with abusing the casters. Indigo is put so she can hit around the corner. That way she has an extra tile to hit, so it's 4 tiles instead of just 3. And finally, after all of this setup, we have Pudding and Irene in the center. I can't just start with Pudding and Irene, because I don't have enough DP for that, so I would just die trying to do that. Both because Irene will die, and then Quartz will be too late to deal with the casters. That's why we had to start with Haze. On top of that, I need Haze to kill the first golem. So this was the only valid setup I could think of. Thanks to the blue field, Indigo and Click can finish off a golem, even without Haze being there. And once the golem is down, Click kills the one ghost we didn't block. Now there is no ghost in my region of the map, so there's nothing to threaten me. On the center, I messed around with the timing to make sure it got as clean as possible. In the end, it boiled down to just spamming both skills on cooldown. A lot of the time just getting more skill rotations is better than getting more optimal skill rotations. And now all we have to do is kill the golems. It comes down to rotating Indigo's skill and the device that debuffs the res. Slightly uncomfortable thing here is that we needed Indigo's skill to be used both on the 2 golems coming in right now and the 2 golems right after them. But all it comes down to is just activating Indigo's skill slightly early and then killing them as quickly as possible with the buff field we have. I kind of messed up in the center and used Myrtle's heal too early. Because of that, Irene will die in a few hits. But he lived long enough to kill the truck. Unfortunately we whiffed one drone, but Haze managed to catch it, because she was Q1 skill. And Quartz lives on the bottom with 1 health thanks to all the Myrtle healing, as Indigo's skill comes up, binds both golems, and even though we're killing it slowly, the debuff field and Haze's skill come up, and we clean everything up. Ended up a much harder run than I expected. Not so much because of the bug, but it took a ton of planning to actually set up everything, since the golems are so tanky for 4 stars.